Hello and welcome to InvestorToday.ca. I'm your host, Dave Glover. InvestorToday.ca is brought to you in conjunction with RBL Communications, your online IR professionals. It is August 24th, 2012, and I am being joined today by Graham Keevil. Graham, who is the president and CEO of Tajiri Resources Corp. Tajiri, which trades on the TSX under the symbol TAJ. Graham, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dave. It's good to be back on Investor Today.
Yeah, we haven't had you on for a little while. Last time we spoke, we were talking about the Yukon and talking about a silver project, but now you have switched focus, and it's primarily Guyana, gold in Guyana, and you guys are in a really hot spot down there.
Absolutely, and I think, going into this summer with the planning and going over budgets for what was going to happen up in the Yukon, it became apparent that for a company of our size and having already a 51% interest in the Guyana opportunity, cost-wise it was more appropriate to focus on projects of higher potential and something we could move forward at a much lower cost. Last I was on, I believe we had 51% of our Kaburi project down there.
That's right.
We've since acquired 100% interest from Arrowhead Gold, just purely to consolidate and hopefully to add further value for all stakeholders as we get to work down there this year.
Well, can we talk about some of the highlights? You know, I mentioned in the intro that you are in a pretty hot neighborhood. You guys are right beside Azimuth, if I understand, which is an Australian company down there. Very large market cap, and it's really great to have them in your area.
That's correct, Dave. And Azimuth actually just recently is well listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Their market cap right now is about $180 million. I believe it's been as high as $350 million, really during the discovery period of the West Omai project. Now, West Omai surrounds our Kaburi PL on all sides. It is contiguous to the project lease. They recently, as of April, have inferred a resource of 1.22 million ounces gold within 2 kilometers of our project boundary. The geological setting in the area is such that basically we feel that we're within the same system. In geological sort of thinking, being that close to something that occurs relatively randomly within the Earth is a very small distance. You could almost infer it to be immediately a part of the same system, which is what we think is going on there. Where we are at right now on our end is following the programs and processes that Azimuth actually put in place to make their discovery this past year. We're early stages of that with our auger sampling of what we feel is the most highly prospective area on the property for discovery.
Right. Well, and of course, being adjacent to Azimuth. Now, my understanding, too, is that Azimuth really tried to get their hands on this Kaburi property as well, didn't they?
Yeah, over the past 3 years, as they were getting up and running, they really did try to consolidate the entire area under the Azimuth banner, if you will. Mm-hmm. There were a few leases that they were unable to acquire, even though they did try. It's not for me to sit here and say why that was the case, but one way or the other, Arrowhead Gold did end up with a fairly sizable land position within their West Omai tenements. Mm-hmm. And not just any land position, it seems to be the most highly prospective area of their 10,000 hectares. And, us owning over 6,000 of our own within that immediate vicinity is something that we were really excited to be a part of.
Right, yeah. One would almost say it was a bit of a coup on your part for Tajiri. So can we talk about where Tajiri is going now then? I mean, you've done some auger sampling, you're saying. Do we know what the next move is?
Well, in the interest, I guess, of keeping it fairly straightforward, Azimuth has been doing additional work in and around the project for the last couple of months outside of the envelope of the resource I mentioned previously. Mm-hmm. To our immediate north now, they have developed what they refer to as the Gold Star showing. Now, this is about 5 kilometers to the northeast of their original resource, which are hosted in an area called the Smarts and Hicks deposits.
Right.
And they've been trenching to our immediate north of the project boundary for Kaburi, pulling stuff out of chip samples as high as 5 grams per ton gold. Now, this is within a saprolite material that is sought after by the local artisanal mining interests that have been mining the Kaburi area for over 30 years now. Mm-hmm. And the interesting point to that is that this saprolite is basically just a weathered extension of the bedrock below it. So in a stable craton environment, which we're in Guyana, that is basically saying that if there's gold in the saprolite, which is indicated by these artisanal workings and historic pits, then there's a pretty good chance that there's gold immediately below in the bedrock, and the only difference being that within the saprolite you get what's called the nugget effect due to the weathering. Over time, the gold basically remobilizes and concentrates itself into nuggets that are recoverable by the locals without too much technology, etc. But for our interest, what we're really going after is the disseminated gold below that, which they can't recover just because of the nature of the actual mineralization in the bedrock.
Right. So next step then would be, now how is Tajiri financed at this point? Are you guys prepared to move forward on your next aspects of this project?
Absolutely. I never wanted to go into a situation that you couldn't afford to be in. So we have expended about $150,000 now. We have a 20-man camp in place. We're well underway with the auger program, which will give us drill targets as we move into October for approximately $500,000, which we're in the process of raising right now. We should be able to get a significant amount of RC drilling completed in the area of 3,500 to 4,000 meters, which would translate to 25 to 30 holes. Wow.
So definitely moving ahead, and I guess it's really just a blue sky project at this point. I mean, you've got some great work happening in your vicinity. It's all contiguous from what the indicators are. You guys are going to be drilling very shortly. How excited are you about the potential discovery here?
Oh, and I'm a younger guy, Dave, and we've met before. For me to have this sort of as my first opportunity to come in and manage something of this much potential, it's extremely gratifying, and I think the discovery potential here and your risk-reward scenario, given our current trading price, is probably one of the most attractive, not just in the venture exchange, but on any sort of junior market worldwide. The upside, obviously, with Azimuth's market cap being where it is, and ours being a mere fraction of that, one has to sort of think that if we get even a sniff of gold on our property, Tajiri could be in a position to exponentially increase in value.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are, as you said, you're trading pretty low right now. You've got pretty meager share structure out there right now. And how many shares outstanding currently?
We have about 26 million out right now. Insiders control, a good majority of that. And I think, it's structured in a way that, given any good news, it's really primed and ready to go for a good run here as we get back into work season and we get those drills spinning in October.
Well, let's hope we can get people back into the venture markets. I think that's really what's slowing down any progress for not just your company, but for a great number of companies globally. I know in the Yukon there's been some great slowdown in terms of venture. But let's hope that the future is very bright for Tajiri Resources. I've been speaking with Graham Keevil. He is the president and CEO of Tajiri Resources Corp, which is a wholly owned Canadian company, actually, which is based in Vancouver. You guys are operating out of Guyana on the Kaburi property. So great news just out on that. Hopefully this season will bring forth the discovery that we believe is there in the ground. Graham, any last word for our listeners?
Nothing specific. Just I think we're really on the precipice of great things with the company, and if there was ever a time to maybe have a look at the stock, I would definitely say it's now.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Graham. Again, the company Tajiri Resources, which trades on the TSX under the symbol TAJ. I'm Dave Glover. You've been listening to InvestorToday.ca. We'll see you next time.